Hi everyone, my name is Dee. I am Katie Creole on YouTube and on Instagram, and I basically make videos about sewing. Welcome back. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much to anyone who's subscribed to my channel since I started it. Really, it's been an amazing journey, and I still can't believe that so many of you are interested in my content. So a massive thank you again. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is all about my sewing journey, and I basically share my makes, my sewing plans, and anything I might buy here and then. This video is about buying fabric online in the UK. If you don't live in the UK, you can still have a look at the websites. They will be all linked in the description box below, because the fabric shop might do international shipping, so definitely have a look. And I know a few of them do. Obviously, you might need to purchase a certain amount, but it might still be very worth it, depending on where you live. So before I even start talking about online fabric shopping, I want to basically give you a few tips if you are a beginner. So I started sewing 2 years ago, a bit more than 2 years ago. Actually, it's going to be 3 years this year. I started sewing 3 years ago, and I basically was completely lost when it came to shopping for fabric. I did go on YouTube and I did find a couple of websites that I mentioned that seemed interesting, but I could not really find a good value for money, put it that way. So the first thing I want to say is forget about buying a fabric online if you are a beginner. Go to an actual fabric store, a fabric shop, and touch each type of fabrics, just so you know for future online shopping what is actually a cotton fabric, what is a viscose fabric, what is a crepe fabric, because then it'll be easier for you to know what you're doing once you're buying online. Little side note, if you have a local market in your area, definitely have a look, because sometimes there will be people selling dead stock fabrics and they're really cheap. We're talking £2, £3 a yard, 100% worth it. A yard is a little bit less than a meter, just to give you a rough idea. But I've got one down my road. I love it. And that's why I go there quite often. I try not to go there too often because it's pretty bad when I do. I made the mistake of going online and buying fabrics, buying a bunch of fabrics that actually didn't work for the project I was working on for XYZ reasons. And that was because I didn't have the knowledge that you basically acquire as you are touching fabrics. That's the only way for you to know what a crepe fabric feels like, what a rayon fabric feels like. And I'm still learning to this day. I mean, I know the basics now. By now I know roughly how a viscose drapes are a cotton fabrics with drape, and their various other, what do you call, other cousins. I'm going to call them cousins, like a viscose crepe or cotton poplin versus cotton lawn. But that's something that you learn as you are touching fabrics. That's the only way. If you're not touching the fabric, you cannot know what you're looking for. So really important. I think this is the first step. Once you had a chance to do that, you can now have a look at the websites I'm going to suggest to you. And if you're not a beginner sewist, then that still might be relevant if you don't know about some of those websites, because I'm very cheap when it comes to fabric, and you're going to realize that in a minute with my list of recommendations. So when it comes to buying fabric online, the other thing is some websites do offer to send you a sample of that fabric for a very small fee. So you can get a very small sample of the fabric you're interested in, and then if you're happy with that, you might be able to then purchase a few meters. So I think that's quite interesting. So definitely have a look at whether the website offers that, because that's a great thing. I'm looking down because I've got some of my notes on my phone. The other thing you can do as well, which I've done a few times, if you're unsure about a fabric, you can always email the fabric shop and just basically tell them that you're looking for this type of fabric for this project. Would they recommend this particular fabric you've seen on the website? Most fabric shops are more than happy to help you choosing fabric from their website, really. So definitely another thing to think about. And one other thing is, on websites like Minerva or Pound Fabrics, you have sewists who have sewn garments in some of the fabrics they're selling, and the pictures are on their website, so you can see how a fabric looks like in a specific garment. And I find that so helpful to help me picture in my head the project I have in mind with a certain fabric. So definitely something worth remembering. When you're first starting up sewing, you don't want to spend too much money on the fabrics you're buying, because you are going to make mistakes. You might get it wrong. You might get the size wrong. I mean, it's completely normal. We all do it. I still do it. I still make mistakes, and that's perfectly fine. But you don't want to be spending too much money on your first online purchases. I definitely was looking for good value for money. I was looking for cheap fabrics, but still good quality. And I think those 3 websites I'm going to share with you are basically perfect for this type of fabrics. And also, if you're on a budget, if you are an experienced sewist, or you've been sewing for years but you're on a budget, or at the moment you can't spend that much, I think those 3 options are great actually, and I think they tick all the boxes for me. I'm also having to hide some of my parcels in case my husband sees them, and that tells you how much I need this fabric to be cheap. The first online fabric shop I'm going to mention here is Pan Fabrics. I absolutely love Pan Fabrics. It is my #1 shop. It is just the shop I go to first when I'm looking for fabrics. I love it so much. Their goal is to make fabrics more affordable for everyone, and I completely agree. When you go on this website, basically, you will see a fabric that you might find very beautiful and think, oh, that'll be at least 12, 13 pounds a meter. And it might be £5 or £3 a meter. And you just shocked. You're just in shock. But then that's the issue, though. You just buy it. You know, you don't even overthink it. You're not like, oh, shall I get it? Shall I not? No, you just get it because it's so cheap. And very often it is a good quality fabric. I don't think I've ever been disappointed by my Pan Fabrics purchases. Maybe a couple of times, but I've spent so much on their website. It's very minimal compared to what I bought. So yeah, I can definitely vouch for the quality of their fabric. So sewing isn't cheap, and I just think that having this kind of option is great. So they have a really wide selection of fabric. I'm going to look down because I've got a few notes written there. They have a really huge wide selection of fabrics, and they also have a point system. So it's called a point stash. So it's a loyalty program basically, where you can get points from little things such as following them on Instagram or Facebook, putting your date of birth. And the really cool thing about Pan Fabrics is that, as I said before, you can see some of the garments that have been sewn by sewists. It's literally just people buying the fabrics, making something, and then posting it on the website. So I've done it a few times. You get 5 points for each review. For posting a pictures. Or do you get it without a picture? I can't remember, but I put a picture. Then you can turn those points into vouchers. I think at the moment I've got a £10 voucher with them because I've not been using my points. So yeah, it's just a great way to save a little bit. I've not found so far another website with this type of value for money. It's just incredible. They have all sorts, jersey, cotton, viscose. You have everything on there, and you have a wide selection compared to other websites. So I highly recommend Pan Fabrics as your first stop if you are starting off sewing, or if you are looking for cheap fabrics but that are of good quality. 100%. It's just a 10 out of 10 for me. The only minus is that delivery is always coming with a fee, so you always have to pay, and it depends on how big the parcel is. So it starts from £3.99 all the way to £9.99, so you can't pay more than £9.99, and that would be for really big parcels. And I think that'd be like £100 worth of shopping, where you pay £10 for delivery. But when you think about how much you're saving per meter, absolutely worth it. The next website I want to talk about is Rainbow Fabrics. So another really great website. You must have heard about Rainbow Fabrics quite a bit. I know that the bigger, the really big YouTubers in the sewing world, they talk about Rainbow Fabrics sometimes. I don't think I ever hear of Pan Fabrics, or if I do, it's not very often actually. I think it's very underrated. Anyway, Rainbow Fabrics is a great website as well. It's a family-run business. They are based in Kilburn in London. I've went to their shop once, actually. I went to the shop in Kilburn. There are a lovely bunch of people, and it was lovely to see the owner and have a little chat with him. I think they go to Turkey quite a lot to get their fabrics. I sometimes put it on Instagram as well, them going to Turkey shopping, which is really cool to watch. But yeah, they're a really nice bunch of people. They also go to the Stitch Festival in London and the Knitting and Stitching Show, I believe. So you can find them there as well if you don't live in London and you're just coming for the festival. So they have a great selection as well of fabrics. They have a bit of everything. The selection is way smaller than Pan Fabrics. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. But I would say they have some of the most amazing prints. They really do. And the price per meter is a little bit more than Pan Fabrics. It's probably, I'd say on average, £3-4 more per meter. But when they are on sale, and they do have a lot of sales all year round, you get Pan Fabrics type of prices. So you get £3-4 a meter for viscose, cotton fabrics, crepe fabrics, and they are gorgeous. They have lovely prints. You know, I just love their selection of fabrics. It's great. They also have a points program, so you get points when you order fabrics. And I think there's a couple of other ways to earn points, but probably put a screenshot if I can remember of all the different ways you can earn points. And it's different to Pan Fabrics in the sense that instead of a voucher, you get a percentage. So you get 30% discount, 20% discount, and I think that's great. I think that's better than Pan Fabrics because that way, you know, you can save even more if you have like a really big shopping on that day. You get 30% off if you have enough points. And I actually think I do have enough points for 30%. So yeah, that's great. I mean, I've been very naughty, so technically I'm not allowed to spend more for the next couple of months, but yeah, I've got all these little vouchers and percentages floating around. Never mind. So I'm going to show you the latest fabrics I got from Rainbow Fabrics quite recently. They're lovely fabrics. The first one is swimwear fabric, so it's a 4-way stretch fabric. It's not very stretchy. I thought it was going to be more than that, so I just have to be very careful what size I decide to sew because I don't think it's as stretchy as what I've ordered before, but I think what I had in terms of swimwear was from Pan Fabrics. This is Rainbow Fabrics. I don't like it as much as I did the one on Pan Fabrics. They're not as the quality is not as good, but it's this lovely animal print that I really like. So it's not as stretchy as I thought it was going to be, and it has got this I can't even describe it. It doesn't feel like swimwear fabrics I got from Pan Fabrics. It's got like a scuba fabric feels to it. It's very strange, but I love the print. I really love the print, and as I said, I'll just have to be careful what size I decide to use. I decide to sew. I can't speak anymore. But it's lovely. I really like it. Only got 2 meters, and I think this was £7 a meter. But I think I've got the I've got my little receipt here. I can't remember if they put the price on here. Oh no, they don't. But yeah, it was definitely around £7 a meter. The 2 other fabrics were both £5 a meter each, and unfortunately for me, they did put them on sale later on. But what can you do? I think they were down to £2 or £3 a meter. Never mind. So the first one I want to show you is this lovely cotton fabric, which is this very nice orange flowers and yellow, like dark yellow flowers. And I think it looks very pretty, very summery. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it, but it will definitely be a dress. So we'll see what I decide to sew. One dress I have in mind actually for this lovely fabric is the Natalia dress by Sew Over It that has been released not so long ago actually. It was quite a recent release, and I think it would look really nice in this dress. That's one thing I have in mind. I'm just going to check. Yeah, it's just said 100% cotton, and it was £4.99 if I remember correctly. And then my last one is this gorgeous, which I absolutely love, sort of green and yellow fabric, which has all these little swirls of it looks like painting. It's gorgeous. I really like it. And I'm definitely going to be making, I was going to say a dress, as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking trousers would be really cool in this fabric. It's like you've got dark, that's dark green, because I need to think about how I would pair it up. But like with a white or a black top, I think that would work actually. So yeah, now I don't know what I'm going to make with it. That's typical. I'm always starting off with an idea and then I show it to you and I'm thinking, oh, actually. But yeah, no, it's a lovely dress. Lovely dress. It's a lovely fabric, and one lovely dress I could make with it is the one I'm wearing. So the Isla dress, because I think in a cotton fabric it does have a different drape to it, obviously, and it looks very different. And I think this would look really nice as an Isla dress as well. But if you have any idea, definitely, as usual, please let me know in the comment, because sometimes I have something in mind and then I just change my mind, or I'm not too sure anymore. So yeah, definitely let me know. So that was my rainbow fabrics order, and that gives you a little snippet of what you can find on the website. The next website I want to talk about in the cheap fabrics category is Dream Fabrics. Dream Fabrics, I don't think I've ever heard of anyway. So I stumbled across them while I was looking for fabric sales on Facebook. The reason why I was looking for fabric sales on Facebook is someone, I can't remember who. Oh, it was a colleague of mine in my previous job. My colleague was talking to me about live sales on Facebook of fabrics, and I was just very intrigued. And I stumbled across Dream Fabrics. So basically, they sell fabrics through Facebook Lives. So you can see them holding fabrics, moving the fabrics. You can see the drape, and they put it on the dress form. You can see how it looks on the dress form. So it's really helpful. It's a lot more helpful than scrolling on the website and just seeing pictures. 100%. So just a little a piece of advice. It's quite addicting, because when you go on those lives, you are obviously surrounded by other sewists. So you see everyone in the chat making funny comments and laughing at each other. It's actually really cool. It's a really nice atmosphere and quite funny. Or joking with the seller. It's lovely. So when they show you fabrics, they'll tell you that this fabric is, I don't know, £10 a meter, but today you're going to have it at £5 a meter. There's only 15 meters. And then once they say that, you see the whole chat going absolutely insane. They create this sense of you're going to miss out, and if you love fabrics and you have this element added to it, because if you're watching this, you're probably addicted to fabric shopping, or you're just starting off. And if you're starting off, I'm giving you also a warning here, you might become addicted to fabric shopping. It's different to sewing. It's a different type of addiction, but it goes with it, obviously. So yeah, that's my little advice for you that I was not given. No, she did say, to be fair to my colleague, she did say, be careful, it's a rabbit hole. She did say it. So for a few weeks I was going on the live sales, and I did buy fabrics every single time, because there was just urgency that, oh my god, it's gonna disappear and then I won't have any more. So what I do to help myself is basically I don't go on there anymore. I do recommend them because they have really cheap options and they have really good bargains. So anything from £3 a meter for a chiffon fabric all the way to £5 a meter for very good cotton poplin fabric. So you can get really good deals on there. You really can. They do have a lot of polyester fabrics. I need to warn you about this. If you don't handle polyester really well, I definitely don't. I just sweat in it and it's awful. But some people don't mind it. So they have a lot of polyester, a lot of chiffon. But sometimes they do show you really nice cotton jersey, cotton poplin. And as I said, everything is less than £10. They do have sometimes £10 a meter fabric, but it's for the more premium fabrics. So definitely recommend this as another way to shop. But I have given you my advice and warning. One thing as well I want to mention is that you have to pay for shipping unless you spend more than £100. If you spend less than £100, I think there's a fixed fee of £45. No, that can't be right. I got that wrong. £4.50. That's better. I believe it's £4.50 for shipping for anything less than £100. So just bear that in mind. So these were my 3 websites for cheap fabrics, but of really good quality. Hopefully those websites will help you to get started or find cheap alternatives to the fabrics you normally buy. I personally love them, especially Pan Fabrics and Rainbow Fabrics. They're my number 1 and 2 when it comes to buying fabrics. That's where I go first. So the next three websites I'm going to talk about here are a little bit more expensive. I'm saying a little bit, actually. It can be a lot more expensive. The previous websites were more around £3 all the way to £5 to £8, whereas here we're more around £10-15 a meter. So still cheap, I think, because you have people who buy fabrics anywhere from £20 all the way to £50 a meter, and even more. You know, we all have different budgets, we all have different priorities in life, and that's okay. If you are on a budget and if you want cheap fabrics like I do, I still think those three websites are definitely worth having a look if you can stretch yourself all the way to £15 a meter. £15 a meter is my maximum. I've never bought, I've never bought a fabric that was more than £15 a meter. It's like my brain has stopped counting after 15. I cannot, yeah, it's so strange. In the future, I might go ahead and get a bit more crazy with my fabric shopping. But at the moment, this is my maximum. So if you are also on a budget, definitely take note of those three websites. So the first website I want to mention in this category is Minerva. They're very well known in the sewing world. If you have not heard from them, if you haven't heard of them, definitely check them out. So their website is great. They have fabrics, patterns. They also have a huge community of ambassadors who show their basically shows their fabrics in different garments, and it's so helpful to have those reviews when you're browsing for fabrics. So they have a very big selection. I personally really love their core range, their Minerva own brand fabrics. I think they look absolutely stunning. They're one of my favorites ever. I actually bought one of their £15 a meter viscose fabric a while back, and it felt like a treasure, like my precious, basically. Yeah, the core range, the Minerva core range, is by far my favorite on the website. They are beautiful, so gorgeous. Their prints are amazing. Every time they release a collection, I'm just like, I want everything. But it's like more than £15 a meter sometimes. And as I said, sometimes you can also find between £10 and £15 a meter. So definitely worth having a look. You can also find cheaper, but the selection is not as big as Pan Fabrics or Rainbow Fabrics, for example. They have a craft club, so for £20 a year you get 10% discount on all your orders, which is really worth it if you do shop there quite a bit, and that discount goes on top of general sales they might have on the website. So they do go on sales as well, so definitely worth keeping an eye on it. And the other really cool thing about Minerva is that it is free. There's no delivery fees when you spend at least £25. So I think that's really reasonable. I've bought a few fabrics from Minerva. I've also bought patterns from Minerva. So it's great when you only have to spend only £25 and delivery is free of charge. So yeah, I really recommend Minerva as a website if you want to have a look at their fabrics, and they also have a big selection of patterns. The next website I want to mention in this category is My Fabrics. So it's a German website. The reason I'm mentioning this website is because it has a bit of a sentimental value to me, because it's one of the first websites where I ever shopped, and actually they had a massive selection. Their selection of fabrics is huge. I think they call themselves the largest online fabrics and haberdashery seller in Europe. So I guess that explains why. They have really good filtering options. So I think you can filter by what type of project you're making, for example. So that's really helpful if you're a beginner. Yeah, they have, as I said, a wide range of fabrics. Their prices really start from, to have something decent, from £10 to £15 a meter, but you have quite a big selection just for that price range, so worth having a look. And as I said, it's quite a huge selection. Apparently since Brexit, I did check the website yesterday, you can only order up to £120 worth of shopping. They cannot ship anything to you that is more than £120, because otherwise you would have to pay import taxes. So yeah, £120 is your limit. And if you are struggling to stop yourself when shopping, that might be a good option. So those 5 websites are definitely the websites I shop from either on a regular basis, I hope my partner can't hear me, or I've shopped from before, like My Fabrics. And I think they're great. I also go to my local market, as you all know by now, and I sometimes go to random fabric stores in London. And if you're interested in a video about those fabric stores in London, definitely let me know, because that might be an idea for a video. So I definitely think that online fabric shopping is the most convenient, because obviously we don't all live in London or other parts of the UK, wherever those shops are based. I'm a mum, and I'm definitely can't see myself taking my little one with me to go fabric shopping. That's like hell. That's my definition of hell. The last website I want to mention is Lamazi Fabrics. So I basically was scrolling on YouTube and stumbled across a video on their YouTube channel where I forgot her name now. Liana, I believe it was Liana, was showing us some fabrics, and I went onto the website and basically fell in love with the selection. I basically could not help myself and had to place my first order on that day. It was incredibly beautiful. Yeah, the selection was just incredibly beautiful. I don't even know what else to say. It was love at first sight. I would say the selection of fabrics that are the most interesting to me start from £10 a meter all the way to £15 a meter, and you have quite a big selection within that price range, so definitely worth having a look. So again, more expensive than pan fabrics, so if that is not within your budget, that's totally fine. If you can afford fabrics that are within that price range, definitely worth having a look at Lamazi Fabrics. It's absolutely an amazing website, and I'm going to show you the fabrics I bought from the website. So just before I do that, they are a family-run business by husband and wife, James and Liana, and basically their goal is to find the most beautiful, sustainable fabric that they can find for us. They are based in West Sussex, and they also do workshops if you are local to the area, and they also give a monthly prize on Instagram when you post a garment using their fabric. So that's also nice to know. Yeah, as I said, the selection is amazing. Have a look on the website. 100% recommend it. So I'm going to show you the couple of viscose fabrics I bought from them, which are just amazing. This is the first one. Look at this. Look at this. Absolute beauty. Like, what else am I going to say? I'm not going to say, no, you're not coming home with me. Of course you're coming home with me. It's lovely. It's a lovely viscose fabric with this gorgeous flowers and a red background. It's just gorgeous. So my plan with this fabric is either to make a dress. I've got 3 meters, so it could be a dress. No idea what kind of dress, because that's not my first option, but it could be an option. My second option would be a couple of tops I have in mind, because I think with 3 meters I can fit a couple of tops. I think I might not be able to, but I might. I don't know. We'll see. I want to make the most out of it. The first idea I have in mind is the Sew Over It Pussy Bow blouse. So I'll put a picture if you don't know this pattern. I love it. I think this would look amazing in this fabric. So either that or something like, it's not the Ogden Cami by True By, so I'm going to put a picture of it. What I'm looking for is a pattern that looks probably a bit more like the top of the Easter dress, you know, like a top with fixed straps, but a lot more wide at the top, like a simple cami top, but not exactly like the Ogden Cami. I've got exactly what I want in my head, and I might be able to tweak that pattern maybe, but I would like probably longer straps, which is easy to do, and a bit more like flaring out. Flaring out, you know what I mean. Anyway, so a couple of tops out of this I think would look gorgeous, and I've got those 2 ideas in my head, but it's not very clear, as you can see. So the other fabric is also viscose fabric, which is, I don't even know. Look at that. Like, honestly, how could I say no to this? How could I say no to this fabric here? There was no way I was going to say no to this fabric. It is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I got 4.5 meters because I'm planning on making a dress. This is going to be a dress, 100%. I don't know what dress. I have no idea what kind of dress I'm going to make out of this, but it's gorgeous. And as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that this would also look really nice in trousers and like a shirt and trousers sort of combo. That would look really nice as well. That's the thing. When you take too many meters, it can be a long dress, but it also can be trousers and shirt, which I've never sewn a shirt. That's definitely on my list. I have sewn trousers, but very basic, like PJs, you know. But I would love to sew like flared trousers. That would be lovely in that as well, wouldn't it? Yeah, and I could wear it with. Is there any black in there? Yeah, there's like. Is it navy or black? Could be black. Yeah, it could be black. Could wear like a black or white tops on top. Yeah, now I don't know what I'm making with this. Please help me. What would you do? A dress or flared trousers and matching shirts? Because I think that would also look amazing in this. I'm trying not to touch my mic. Yeah, that would look also amazing as a shirt and trousers. Right, this is not a sewing plans video, so I'm going to stop there. Just wanted to show you this couple of fabrics just so you could see the type of fabrics you can get from Lamazi Fabrics. So this is it, guys. I really hope that this selection of websites was helpful if you are a beginner sewist, or even if you are more experienced and you're just looking for cheaper options, because there are many websites that sell fabrics. People mention all the time Sony Sunshine, Hey Sew Sisters, Fabric Godmother, and those websites are amazing. I've been on them. I've been on their page. I think that the some of the fabrics are amazing, especially the Hey Sew Sister. I really like some of the prints. But they can be more expensive, you know. There's a lot of £20 a meter floating around there, and not everyone can afford that. I'm definitely on a budget. I really try to stick to my budget. Some months I don't buy anything. I can spend a couple of months without buying a single fabric. So I can be very good, but I can also be very naughty. And recently I've been very naughty, as you can see. But sewing is not a cheap hobby. It's not something that everyone can afford, and I just thought that hopefully this would be helpful for anyone who's trying to get into it, but who are on a budget, you know. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that you will find some amazing fabrics on one of those websites. If you know any other website with good value for money, please feel free to put that in the comments below, because that can be really helpful for everyone. And we'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!